The Bel Canto Style, Bel Canto literally means beautiful singing. And it talks about two different things, quite honestly. It's an era of music which was written in Italy between around 1810 and 1850. It also talks about a style of singing. These two things kind of mesh together because the style of the music was really based on this Italian technique of beautiful singing. So the Italian composers, Rossini, Donizetti, Bellini, Mercadante, they all wrote for a particular vocal style that the Italians were taught in. It's a very fluid kind of voice, a very beautiful sound, effortless singing, very, very flexible. This voice can sing high, can sing low, with a very even tone. Cinderella is a very athletic opera. It's filled with beautiful melodies, which is kind of the hallmark of Italian bel canto singing. The ability of the voice to create a beautiful sound over a long melody. It also is the combination of a poetic libretto in combination with this very beautiful melody. So Cinderella is absolutely a hallmark. It's a comic opera. However, the character of Cinderella, the central character of the Cinderella, and her Prince Charming sing in a true bel canto style. They sing very beautiful phrases, very romantic phrases, while around them, the ugly stepsisters and the ugly stepfather, in this case, sings in a very kind of athletic coloratura manner. They use their voices almost as instruments in Cinderella. Opera singers study for many, many years. You can tell when a singer is about 17 or 18 whether the vocal cords are really the kind of vocal cords that can take the stress of a long career of singing opera. Opera is all about studying and exercising and making sure that the voice is supported so that it can go over a large orchestra. In contrast, a pop singer, yes, has to practice and get those vocal cords to move, take a breath, very much the same way as an opera singer. But in fact, a pop singer tends to sing with a microphone. Microphone's 2 or 3 inches away. So consequently, you sing for that mic rather than singing for a big auditorium like opera singers do. The Minnesota Opera Resident Artist Program is a training program for singers that are generally just out of conservatory and they're not quite ready for the big time. We try to ease them into a professional career. We give them lots of coaching, lessons in acting, lessons in yoga, lessons in body awareness, in breathing, in languages, and style. And it's a 9-month program. They begin generally around the 1st of September and go through the month of May. And we look for singers that we feel are confident, even though they're young, that they're confident and poised enough to sing on the Ordway stage with real professional singers. This year, Angela Mortillaro and Victoria Vargas are our soprano and mezzo resident artists. I'm very excited about them because, first of all, they both have terrific voices. Angela's a little bit more experienced. She's been out a little bit more. Victoria is right out of Manhattan School of Music and is very young, but possesses an extraordinary voice. So the two of them we thought were perfect for the ugly stepsisters in Cinderella. Angela has a high coloratura voice, and Victoria has a low kind of almost contralto or very low mezzo-soprano voice. And the contrast of them, high and low, are going to make for a really fun evening.
Feel where Rossini has a cello which is in the finales, but more important for this part, the big crescendos. So always figure out.
My name is Mary Dibburn. I'm the head of music at the Minnesota Opera. A coach has to know everything that they think the singer should know So that means the language, how to pronounce the words, what the words mean, what is the cultural context of the whole opera, music issues, is the singer on pitch, is the singer singing the right notes, are the notes that are printed mistakes, because sometimes we find mistakes in these printed scores, how does the printed score correspond with the orchestra score. That doesn't sum up everything, but that's some of the things that we think about. Yes, the excerpt that I was coaching opens the opera, so it's very important for these two singers. There are two of our resident artists. It's very important for them to be very comfortable because they actually start the opera, and that's a very big responsibility for a young singer. You have an orchestral introduction and then this huge build-up, and then there they are and they start singing. So the most important thing I do in working on this section when I work in this opera is to make sure the singer is very, very comfortable with the words, with the movement, and perhaps try different kinds of movements, because sometimes the conductor may go a little faster or a little slower. Just make sure that they know it very, very well in terms of the notes, the rhythms, the language, what they're saying, so that they can get off with a really good start to this opera.
Have we feel that we have power over somebody, and that's in a way what makes it funny. Because if we didn't recognize ourselves in these characters, it wouldn't be interesting. Yeah. You know, it makes you think about what you're doing in your own life. Okay, shall we go on to the thing?
Everybody says, and I think it's true, that comedy is much harder to portray than straight drama. Actors say that, and singers say it, directors say it. And for me, what I find funny about a character like an evil sister is perhaps my sister and I ganged up on somebody like that when we were small. The kind of immaturity that sometimes a comic character can show, we can all recognize in ourselves. If the comic character becomes so evil in this case that you hate the character, then it's not funny anymore, then it becomes tragedy. So you have to have that fine line with these two sisters of finding what's funny about them and what elements do you recognize in them as part of your own psyche, perhaps something that you reject but something you can always laugh at, and it makes you perhaps laugh at yourself and take yourself not so seriously at the same time. I think young singers always feel that it's life or death. Everything is life or death. I have to sing this perfectly. I have to sing this. I have to succeed now or I never will. And you have to give them confidence so that they can relax and feel that they're playing. It's the idea is you're playing. We're all playing. We love to do that. That's why we're in opera. We love to create things. And so you try to make the singer feel very confident and loved and feel that they have a scope and a safe place in the rehearsal so that they can play around and find different vocal sounds, different colors. And then when they get up on the stage, they have a lot to choose from when they're singing.
The comedy in Cinderella comes with the expression of the language, and in some of the patter singing with the very fast words, it is really funny. And the comedy is conveyed through that, as well as just quick changes in texture in the music, which makes it very exciting. Singing Bel Canto Style is very rewarding. It's just the most beautiful phrases.
What makes me want to sing opera, I would have to say, is that I love the drama and the music and the way that it's put together. I think that music has this ability to express texts and emotions and feelings in a way that dance or a way that the written word can only do so much, I think. And I think music brings it to that next level. I would say it's that in order to be an opera singer, I think that half of it has to be collaboration with others and the other half is the work that you put in your own. So you do voice lessons and coachings and acting lessons and yoga and dance and all these things to make you aware of how you're singing and what you're singing about and your intention behind your singing. And then I think that there's a lot of personal, private time that you have to spend in a practice room, kind of just repeating and going through trials and tribulations and trying out new things and hoping something works. The The most fun thing about being an opera singer is that you get to be anybody and everybody. I especially love being a mezzo because I think that applies a little bit more true than maybe other voice types. You can be a witch, I mean, you get to play somebody's mother, you could be somebody's brother as a woman. I mean, I think the variety of the roles is just unbelievable. You can be anybody and anything you want to be.